Pixie and welcome to Pixie's Pit. On today's episode, I will be talking about my fave moments from AEW Dynamite, and in honor of Matt and Jeff Hardy Team Extreme, I've chosen Sour Patch Kids Extreme. And we also have Sour Patch Kids Lollipop with Sour Patch Kids Sour Dipping Powder in Pink Raspberry. Alright, so let's get into these Sour Patch Kids Extreme. It says super sour then sweet, so I'm quite excited about that. So let's open these up and get into them. So they come in a bag, a lot of orange. I see 90% orange, a couple green, and a blue. So let's just empty those into our bowl. So here's what they look like. Alright, so let's see how sour these are. Let's try an orange. A little bit more sour. Green. And blue. You definitely get more sour. There's not as much of a sweetness coming through there. It's not very sour though, just more sour than a typical Sour Patch Kid. It's not unpleasant or shockingly sour, that extreme really, but you know, still cool. I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10 horns in the air because they aren't really that much better than a regular Sour Patch Kid. Sour Patch Kids Lollipop with the sour powder, and this one's in raspberry or pink raspberry. Okay. So it is shaped like a little Sour Patch Kid, and you can kind of see the indentation of his eyes just a little bit. And then there is the powder, so I'm actually going to, just like a white powder, I'll just put it in the bowl. So basically just like kind of a Look-A-Made or Fun Dip powder. I don't think you're really going to be able to pick it up in the bowl, but I will dip it in. Okay, so it tastes like, sort of like raspberries, builder like a lemonade, kind of like a raspberry lemonade. It's not that good a lollipop. There's a bit of an unpleasant, almost like an aftertaste to it. So let's dip it in this kind of like sour dipping powder and see if it gets any better. Not really. All the sourness comes from the dipping powder for sure. The sucker itself is just like a raspberry one with a bit of an unpleasant aftertaste. Doesn't really taste like a Sour Patch Kids product. Yeah, not a great product overall. I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10 horns in the air. AEW opened with Adam Cole versus Christian Cage, which was the first match ever between the two. They lock up. Christian knocks Cole down. Cole punches Cage in the face. A few kicks to the abdomen from Cage. Cage gives chest chops and slaps to Cole, and knife edge chops as well to Cole. Cole kicks Cage's midsection, throws Cage into the barricade twice, and then onto the steel steps. Christian throws Cole out of the ring. Cage leapfrogs out of the ring and lands on top of Cole. Christian rolls Cole up, does a swinging DDT as well. There's a backstabber by Cole, an inside cradle by Christian, a reverse DDT. Cage missed a diving headbutt, and Cole gives the boom. Cage stands on Cole's back. Cage does a hurricanrana, a super kick to the knee by Cole. Cole pump kicks Christian. There's a spear and a roll up by Cage. There's also a kill switch attempt. Cole starts gouging at Christian's eyes, and he won with a boom. Fish and O'Reilly come out to beat down Christian, but Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus make the save. The Cowboy, Adam Page, comes out and confronts Cole. There will be a live rampage in Texas, and there will be a Texas death match. He tells Cole to get his things in order. 3 security staff are laid out in the back. Wardlow takes out another 4 security guards, throwing them into a wall. He takes out 8 security guards in total and throws a security guard through the barricade. Shawn Spears gets a loss as a result of the distraction. Kingston attacks Jericho in the back and throws him onto a wall. Santana and Ortiz start stomping Jericho. Kingston throws a large monitor at Jericho. Jericho escapes into Hager's car and they drive away and make their escape. Butcher and the Blade versus the Hardys was pretty awesome. Hardys charged at Butcher and the Blade, but Butcher and the Blade hit the Hardys with table shards. The Blade clotheslines Jeff. Blade charges at Jeff. Jeff ducks and Blade goes through a table. Matt attacks the Butcher with a chair and gets it back in the face. A double DDT by the Hardys to the Butcher. Butcher is on the table. Hardys start pounding him. There's a swinging neck breaker by Blade to Matt. Jeff Hardy goes through the table in the ring. There's a twist of fate by Matt Hardy. Butcher crashes into a table outside of the ring. The Blade gives chops to Matt outside of the ring. Matt repeatedly smashes a chair on the Butcher's back. In the ring, there's a leg drop by Matt Hardy on the Butcher through a table. Matt motions delete, delete. Matt Hardy gets thrown through a table outside. Hardy gets thrown into the barricade. Butcher and Blade suplex Matt onto the mat, but Jeff moved the table. There's a flying clothesline by Jeff to the Blade. Jeff Hardy does a twist of fate to the Blade and a twist of fate by Matt to the Blade. Jeff drags out a ladder and hits the Butcher with it. There's a twist of fate by Matt to the Butcher. Blade is on 2 tables outside of the ring. Jeff climbs the ladder and does a swanton on the Blade through the table for the win. El Idolo comes out with the AFO. Sting comes out with a bat. Andrade uses the bunny as a shield. Matt Jackson comes out in a feather headband and yells, "Caw-caw!" Young Bucks throw their jackets at FTR. Matt and Wheeler lock up. There's a side headlock by Matt. A drop, a toe hold by Wheeler. Harwood and Nick square off. Dax does a shoulder tackle and a scoop and a slam to Nick. They start to slug it out in the ring. There's a double hip toss, a backflip drop kick by the Bucks. Cash does a sharpshooter and Harwood also does a sharpshooter. The crowd goes absolutely wild. There is an enziguri clothesline and cannonball senton by Matt. Nick super kicks Harwood. Dax suplexes Matt and clotheslines Nick. Matt does a sunset flipped attempt. There's a pile driver to Matt by Dax. There's knee strikes and a bulldog dropkick combination by the Bucks. There's a brain buster by Dax, a low blow by Matt to Cash, big rig by Bucks on Wheeler, a 450 and moonsault press by the Bucks. Dax and Nick play tug of war with the belts. There's double super kicks to Harwood, a BTE trigger to Wheeler. The Bucks get the win, but Wheeler's foot was on the rope and the referee has to restart the match. There is a slingshot powerbomb, a tombstone combination by FTR, a BTE trigger by FTR to Matt Jackson, and a big rig for the win. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe because we're trying to build a cool community. And goodbye and good night.